Another day, another vlog, and I forgot to pick it up again. I got to remember that. Bit of focus, that'll be good. Hope you're all well on this fine Thursday morning. First night shift, done and dusted. That's the hard one. Good to get it out the way. Wasn't too bad, not too painful. Did you have a good sleep? Obviously, I didn't get a show out yesterday afternoon. I went out shooting last night. We did some astro. Good friend of mine that I've worked with here for about 10 years now. A bit crazy, about 11 and a half years. We've known each other. He brought his camera up to site because of COVID, so he's been staying here sort of a lot longer than normal. So I had his camera, Z6 Nikon. So he hadn't done any astro shooting. I said, look, I'm going out. Do you want to come out? And he said, yeah, I'd love to come. So yeah, we had a bit of a play around. It was a pretty laid back one for me. I guess I got a video out of it. I've got some nice shots. It was a crystal clear night. Milky Way was just fantastic. Got a old little sort of mountain, or like a little mountain, like a little atoll. We got that, used that for a bit of foreground. Then we moved around and did some other stuff. Try to get away and really block off the camp light as much as possible. All that light pollution we get here, we don't get too much actually, but it's still as soon as you walk out away from the camp, you can see just how bad the lights are. So. And it's crazy because they could have 90% of the lights off at night here because everyone's asleep. No one's up realistically past 8, 9 o'clock at night. You really don't need lights everywhere, and everyone's got headlights for their work, for their job anyway, so they could save a lot of power if they turn that off. But so it was really good. We had a really good night. I think he really enjoyed it from what he said, and his first one, he had to learn his camera, learn his lenses, and helped him sort of adjust with the ISO and all that to play with that. That's a full frame camera. It's obviously a pretty flash camera too. So it was good from my point of view to see from the M50 up to what a full frame camera can do. And the biggest thing I found, I guess, was the ISO difference. I think he can go up to 51,000 ISO for those Nikon Z6s. So that was pretty cool to see what that can pull out of the night sky and what image you can get is pretty darn cool. He did get some shots with just like, I sort of looked at it and went, wow, that's pretty, that is nice. So obviously that having that ability to go up to that high ISO and really just suck out an image of that darkness was really, really handy. And I think he enjoyed it. I think he would be doing a lot more of it. He's got to get the photos and edit them so I can have a bit of a look. But yeah, pretty happy. It was a good night. We finished about 2:30, 3 in the morning. So by the time we got back here, I basically just dumped my photos off the camera onto the computer to make sure I didn't lose them. The last thing you want to do is lose photos, losing 3 videos worth of photos. It was not good. But the other good thing out of the night, I got to really give this a test. That's me. Claris, that's one of the unboxings that we lost with the file corruption drama the other week. The HA2C by Claris, brilliant. Can I tell you? Brilliant. One battery all night, didn't miss a beat. I had it on its lowest setting and you was using that for light painting. So when we do get to see the photos, I'll put some notes in there, but I use this down on low setting, was really good. That was better to do light painting than my little lume cubes and that, because it actually gets down to a lower light setting than what the lume cubes and the little Ulanzi lights did. So that was really cool to be able to use that for that. Because it's not a normal torch you hold it off an angle. You can just sit here like that and just paint it. So it's a bit more comfortable to sort of paint around and do stuff. So that worked out well. Super stoked with that purchase. Not expensive as you'd imagine, but yeah, brilliant bit of quality and super happy with how that worked. So that was really good because where it is, there's lots of uneven ground and stuff. This goes up to 3,200 lumens, which is insane for the size of it. And out in the pitch black, that made a massive difference. So if you are doing a lot of bush trips, go onto their website. They actually their website delivers straight to Australia, so it's good in that regard. Sorry, focus. Just trying to get my light. How does that look like a face? I don't know. Just likes the colour. But yeah, so that worked out really well. So yeah, 3,200 lumens, and you're just walking through the scrub, basically like daylight. So from a safety perspective, that was brilliant and exactly why I bought it. And yeah, awesome. Very happy with that. So yeah, a good night. And yeah, I just basically come back, dumped cards, and then crashed out. And I think I slept through till 4 yesterday afternoon. So that was the end of me. So there was no chance of getting up and trying to hunt down enough stuff to give you a chat. And as it was, there really wasn't much that's happened in the last 24 hours. It's a really quiet spot. Every now and again, we have those days. It's normally Mondays from the weekend, the end of the weekend sort of coming over, because the States is sort of 15 hours behind. So generally, it's trying to get that light. It lights that blue light. Yeah, it's normally Mondays, but last night not super exciting. There's a little bit there, so I'm just going to go through it. The big one of the night actually was the ASUS ROG 3 phone. Now, you remember the RO2 come out a while back. MKBH had it win a couple of categories. It's a big phone, not cheap, 900, basically 1,000 US, so around the 1,500 Australian mark, I'd imagine, somewhere like that. But heaps of specs. I'll go through the specs. It's pretty much as top of the range as you could possibly get. It's 865 plus, so that's the brand new Snapdragon. Adreno 650 GPU in a phone. 16 gigabyte of RAM, just insane for a phone. 512 gig storage. It's got a 6 inch 6.6 inch display. Oh, wow, I need to go to bed. 144 hertz, so super mega fast OLED display, so crystal clear 1080 OLED at 144. That's just insane. It does have a 64 megapixel camera, but from the reviews I looked at, they said the cameras are pretty much crap. They weren't really good. It will record 8K video, obviously because of that Snapdragon chip. That's the one that allowed the Samsung to do it. And being the Plus now, that's going to obviously spread wide to most of the other top-level phones. So pretty cool. Now, the big thing on it, a 6,000 milliamp battery. That's even bigger than last year's. That's huge. MKBH said he got, on just basic use, for him, I guess, which is probably more than most of us. But he got 2 whole days out of it. By the time he shut it off at 9:30 the second night, it was down to 3%. So for a guy like that, he probably a light use, he said, which is probably standard use for everyone else. 2 full days without charging your phone. Pretty darn good. 6,000 milliamps. It's a monster battery, and yeah, pretty cool. Now, it's a gaming phone predominantly, and that's why it's got all the top specs. And obviously, it's got that all down pat. It's got the dedicated buttons on it. It's got the RGB lighting on the back of it. When you get a text message, the back lights up. It doesn't have wireless charging. And no headphone jack. You've got to add in there's an adaptation that comes with it that you've got to put on the phone to get your headphone jack in. So that was a bit of a pain. And then wireless charging, which is a little strange. And I think that's purely because they've got all the RGB on the back of it, so they didn't want to affect that. So, but that was a little bit disappointing, I thought. So, but amazing, what an amazing phone. If you do a lot of gaming on your phone, I'm not sure how many kids, and I think they're the ones that are going to be doing a lot of phone gaming. I'm not sure how they're going to afford the $1,500 price tag, but a very nice bit of kit if you are a mobile gamer and you love your games. This phone is probably definitely for you. Obviously running on Android too. So yeah, Android 10, so the latest software there. So yeah, my apologies. COVID-19. Wow. This was pretty funny. I had to put something in about this because the reporter that set it on, I think Channel 9 News, when I watched the replay on it, was pretty bloody hilarious to hear that in Victoria, 5 prisons have been put into lockdown. because of there's someone's tested positive of COVID. I'm pretty sure the last time I looked, damn, that focus loves that blue light. The last time I looked, a prison was already locked down. They're in cells with guards and everyone's separate, except maybe if we've got a cellmate. Yeah, does that not make, I don't know if that's just me that's made it sound funny, but you have to lock down 5 prisons because of COVID. They're locked up. They're in jail. Can they get any more locked up? Can you get any more of a lockdown than being in jail? That just doesn't make sense that they have to announce that there's 5 jails in lockdown. Wow. Yeah, it was pretty mind-boggling. I thought it was bloody funny. Yeah, what do you do? I don't know what they were doing before. Maybe they were doing knitting clubs or something. But yeah, that was pretty wild. I don't think. I think they should have read through what they were about to say before they said it, because I don't think they realised how stupid it sounded. But that was bloody. It made me laugh. It was, at least it was good comedy. Channel 9 News. Yeah, 5. Wow, I don't. And the only other interesting thing that happened last night, so it was a quick show today, was the OnePlus Nord, the thing that's just been, everyone's been it's just been plugging and plugging. It was basically getting the same sort of press as the R5 over the last week, and it's a standard phone. It's not a standard phone. It's a decent phone. It's got mid to high level specs. Doesn't have the top processor. It's got a 765. I think we talked about this somewhere, but it's a good quality phone. And I think the biggest thing is the price. It's where you got an ROG at $999. This thing's $500, so half the price of that ROG, and probably I guesstimate 3/4 of the quality of it, or something along that line. Unfortunately, the biggest problem with all phones is it's only Android. So phone manufacturers need to find a way that they can, or Apple's never going to allow it, but it wouldn't it be great if all phone manufacturers had access to give you the option to have Apple OS in your phone, so you didn't get stuck to just the iPhones. You could actually do that. One day, maybe. One day. But yeah, other than that, it looks great. I think we've seen it all. They've plugged it that much, and there have been that much leaks, and pretty much the phone was out days ago. But the official release was last night, and yeah, pretty much looked pretty good. The pods that come out with it, they were pretty darn crap. So yeah, just be aware of that. They did release some OnePlus pods, woeful. So we did talk about last night. So yeah, or yesterday's show. So just be aware of that. Don't worry about the pods. Stay away from them. But the phone looks really, really good. So, and that was about it. And that's all. Nothing. Wasn't a really big news night. Nothing really exciting happening anywhere. Yeah, but you can feel rest assured that they've got COVID contained in those prisons in Victoria, those 5 prisons. They've locked them down so they can't get that COVID out to anyone. And that's all I can say to finish this show. That's how bad it was. Rightio, if hopefully we get something decent tonight other than reporters saying stupid things. I'm probably said some stupid things, so I'm going to get the heck out of here before I say any more. Rightio, I'll catch you all tomorrow. Whether you're going that way, or you're locked down in prison with COVID. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.